Hey folks, my name is Anne Frances Jarrell, and today I'm going to be talking you through how to test the viability of potato pollen. In order to cross two potato varieties, you'll need to take pollen from one variety and put it on the flower of another to get offspring. However, it's not unusual in potato for there to be fertility problems. One of the most common is for the pollen to be non-viable. Non-viable pollen means the cross will not succeed and no offspring will be produced. You'll want to know whether your pollen is viable before going to the trouble of making crosses. One way to check is to stain the pollen with acetocarmine. The materials you'll need to do the staining are listed here. Note that for the electric toothbrush, you don't need the brush head on the toothbrush. This can be removed. You'll also need a basic light microscope setup, and of course, potato flowers in bloom. Start by taking one or a few of these flowers to take back with you to wherever you're performing your staining. Once you're back at the lab, take a glass microscope slide and place it on the bench in front of you. In one hand, grab the flower so that the petals are held out of the way. In the other hand, turn on your electric toothbrush. Holding the flower over the glass slide, gently tap the vibrating end of the toothbrush to the anthers, or the yellow part, to release the pollen. The pollen should look like a fine white dust on the slide. Next, using your pipette, drop about 25 to 30 microliters of acetocarmine stain directly onto the pollen. You can pick up the slide and shake it around gently just to disperse the pollen throughout the droplet of stain. Take a glass cover slip and place it on top of the droplet. It's okay if you get a few bubbles. You can look around these on the microscope. Let this sit on the bench top for at least 10 minutes at room temperature. Turn on your light microscope and place the slide in the viewing area. Adjust your focus so that you can see the pollen grains clearly. This is at 10x magnification. Let's take a look. Each one of those little dots is one individual pollen grain. You'll notice some of them are stained red and some aren't. Let's take a closer look at 40x magnification. Here at 40x magnification, you can see each individual grain a little bit more clearly. I've circled in the bottom left a few examples of what viable potato pollen should look like. It should stain red, and it should be a uniform circular shape, kind of like a bouncy looking beach ball. To the right, you can see a few examples of non-viable pollen, which does not stain red and may be misshapen. These pollen grains will not produce viable offspring. It's normal to see some non-viable pollen, as long as there's a decent amount of pollen that does look good, such as you can see in this variety. Here's a different variety of potato. Even though these pollen grains look sort of weakly stained, they're all misshapen, looking more like meatballs than nice bouncy beach balls. This pollen is not viable, demonstrating the importance of both overall appearance and staining when assessing potato pollen. And with that, you too can test your favorite potato variety and see if it would make a good pollen parent. Thanks for watching.